In the sun-soaked tranquility of Tucson, Arizona, a city known for its calm suburbs and friendly atmosphere, the narrative of Jared Lee Loughner unfolds. Growing up in the quiet embrace of the southwestern landscape, Loughner's early years seemed unremarkable, filled with the typical pursuits of youth and a passion for music that led him to form a band. However, beneath the veneer of normalcy, a subtle transformation was taking place in Loughner's psyche, setting the stage for a chilling turn of events that would thrust him into the spotlight. Join us here at Crime Scene Archives as we delve into the perplexing journey of Jared Loughner, exploring the enigmatic forces that led a once friendly musician down a path of darkness and ultimately culminated in a shocking and tragic killing spree that forever changed the lives of those in Tucson and beyond. January 8, 2011, Tucson, Arizona, a city basking in the warmth of a Saturday morning, blissfully unaware of the impending chaos that would soon shatter its tranquility. The stage was set for 22-year-old Jared Lee Loughner's ruthless performance. As the clock struck 10:10 a.m., he unleashed a hail of gunfire at a Safeway, turning the bustling shopping spot into a grisly crime scene. Amidst the cheerful chatter of local residents, Senator Gabrielle Giffords' corner session turned into a blood-soaked nightmare. The air, once filled with anticipation, morphed into screams and the metallic echoes of Loughner's merciless shots. Couples seated in innocent conversation became targets, their lives abruptly extinguished in a matter of seconds. The sunlit morning, usually associated with pleasant grocery shopping, became a canvas for a massacre. The Congresswoman Giffords took center stage in Loughner's macabre theater of violence. Bloodied and frantic, the wounded sought refuge within the Safeway, their desperate pleas for help piercing through the pandemonium. In the aftermath, the emergency calls painted a chilling picture of the unfolding horror. The 911 dispatcher struggled to comprehend the chaos, receiving reports of a congresswoman shot, of bodies strewn across the grocery store. The sirens wailed as law enforcement raced towards the unfolding tragedy. But in just 17 seconds, the damage was done. The once peaceful shopping mall now stood as a testament to Loughner's savage spree. Media outlets broadcasted the grim details of the massacre, with images of the wounded and dead flashing across screens worldwide. The world grappled with the question: what drove this young man from the quiet suburbs of Arizona to unleash such brutality on his fellow citizens? Tucson, known for its warm community spirit, found itself thrust into the harsh spotlight of a crime that defied its friendly reputation. Born and raised in the seemingly idyllic city, Jared Loughner's ordinary beginnings masked the darkness that lurked within him. His actions on that fateful day would forever stain the sunny landscapes of Tucson, leaving a scar on the collective memory of a city that believed itself immune to such atrocities. Growing up in the quiet suburbs of Tucson, life seemed peaceful for Jared Lee Loughner. The neighborhood, known for its calmness, provided an ideal backdrop for the seemingly normal adolescent experiences. Loughner, initially just another laid-back musician with a penchant for mischief, found companionship through a shared love for music during his early teenage years. However, as Loughner transitioned into his late teens, a darker side emerged. Despite episodes of delinquency, his friends perceived him as just another teenager on the same wavelength. Yet, an unfortunate crush in high school would mark a turning point, settling off a chain of events that would lead to a dramatic shift in Loughner's demeanor. According to the gal, he had a much bigger crush on her than she ever had on him, so she just gave him the door. They broke up, and according to his high school male peers, that was when the guy just really kind of began to lose it. I think he just really wanted to have friends and a girlfriend and stuff like that. And I think that never worked out for him, so I think he felt kind of alone. As Loughner descended into isolation, withdrawing from school and friends, his descent into a troubled state of mind went largely unnoticed. By 2006, he dropped out of high school, laying the foundation for the tragedy that would unfold 5 years later. On the eve of his killing spree, Loughner took residence at a Motel 6 in Tucson. Throughout the night, he meticulously prepared for the impending violence. His actions included visits to a local convenience store, picking up newly developed photos that showcased a disturbing side of him, and posting bizarre content online, venturing into a subversive world where his irrational views sought refuge. Retreating into the shadows of the internet, Loughner found solace among conspiracy theorists and skeptics, sharing his distorted beliefs about currency, the Constitution, and the education system. His erratic conduct prompted unease among peers, with some expressing genuine fear. A mature student who had worked as a mental health technician even prophesied a grim future, foreseeing Loughner entering class with a gun. The discomfort escalated when Loughner posted a disturbing video online, decrying his college as a genocide school and labeling it the biggest waste of money in American education.
We're examining the torture of students. We are looking at students who have been tortured. This is Pima Community College, one of the biggest scams in America.
In the video, Loughner meandered through a disjointed rant. The unsettling content raised alarms within the Pima Community College Police Department, leading to a stern intervention. However, Loughner never fulfilled this requirement, and his troubled journey continued. On the morning of January 8, 2011, just hours before his killing spree, he attempted to purchase ammunition for a recently acquired handgun. His erratic behavior at the store raised suspicions, leading to a denial of sale. Undeterred, Loughner succeeded in buying ammunition from another store, obtaining 400 rounds for his Glock semi-automatic. As Loughner prepared for the impending violence, tensions brewed within his family. His strained relationship with his parents, marked by concerns over his mental state, culminated in a confrontational moment outside his home. His father, noticing a large bag in Loughner's possession, questioned his intentions, oblivious to the impending tragedy about to unfold. Loughner swiftly fled from his home, a figure in motion fueled by a dark purpose. Seizing the urgency of the impending violence, he hailed a cab with quick, determined strides, the vehicle arriving in a matter of minutes. In that cab, Loughner embarked on a killing spree that would send shockwaves through the nation. Around 10:10 a.m. on Saturday, January 8, 2011, Tucson, Arizona, an ancient city in the heart of America, was shattered by the merciless actions of 22-year-old Jared Lee Loughner. Just an hour earlier, the sun-drenched morning had painted a serene picture for the unsuspecting residents. It was a beautiful Saturday morning, early January. It's a type of time of year that people who live in southern Arizona cherish because it's usually 7 degrees or so. It's sunny. It's a beautiful day to be outside. It was an absolutely normal day for me. It was a relaxed Saturday. I didn't have to work. I was gonna do some grocery shopping, go visit my mother. Sunny, warm, just a glorious day, and my husband and I went on a walk. I had woken up fairly early that day, was just cleaning, doing various things, and I had gone to the gym. January was a day off for me. It was a Saturday, and I was at home with my family, enjoying the time that I had to be with my wife and my daughters. For these unsuspecting residents, their lives were about to become entangled with the arrival of Senator Gabrielle Giffords. What was supposed to be happening at the Safeway that day was what's called a Congress on your corner, and it's a program that Congresswoman Giffords had installed in which she would meet on occasion with her constituents. There were telephone calls made out to the constituents the previous day, informing them of the event, and it was just an opportunity for her to interact with the people of Tucson and get a feel for what some of the items or some of the political issues they had on their minds. I got a robocall from Gabby Giffords saying that she was gonna have a Congress on Your Corner event Saturday, January 8th, and I went to thank her for her hard work that she does for us. Unbeknownst to Gabrielle Giffords and her team, what was expected to be a low-key, relaxed gathering harbored a very real and present threat. Jared Lee Loughner harbored a burning hatred for the Congresswoman, dating back to an incident years prior. Loughner had actually met Gabrielle Giffords at a rally similar to the one where he committed his spree. He had actually been a prior talk that our Congresswoman gave, and he raised his hand. He had a question, and he basically asked, "What is government if words don't have meaning?" Congresswoman Giffords obviously didn't really know how to answer that question, because it's sort of without any context. How would you answer that? This was something she used to always say, "Words have no meaning." And she was kind of like, not plussed by that, said, "Well, thank you, and let's move on to the next question." This perceived slight festered and grew over the months and years, evolving into a directed hatred toward Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Another exchange intensified this hatred as a letter from her office, mistakenly addressed, further fueled Loughner's belief in his intellectual superiority. Regardless, the impending killing spree was not rooted in politics, but rather in psychopathology, a culmination of Loughner's disturbed mindset. At 9:54 a.m., Loughner arrived by taxi outside the Safeway store. Numerous small behavioral clues from Loughner's actions before this spree hinted at his lucidity and coherence. He took a taxi to the supermarket where Giffords was speaking, paying with the money he had on him. Just yards away, Giffords' intended audience awaited the chance to meet her. When I went down there that day, I pulled into the parking lot, and I could see the big sign up there that said Gabby Giffords, so I parked the car and walked up there. Now, there were probably 25 people in line. There was a number of elderly women and men, appeared to be couples, some not. There was a woman just slightly older than me with a little girl with her. And when I got about 6 feet from Gabby, one of her aides, Gabe Zimmerman, who I'd never met before, came out and talked to me and told me I'd have to get to the end of the line. And since Gabrielle Giffords is just about ready to start her Congress on the corner, when I turned to my husband, I said, "You're lucky that I'm not more political, or I would make you stop right now while I shake her hand." And he's like, "Haha, let's get inside and get the Brussels sprouts and the milk and get out of here before it gets too crowded." So we are walking in. The shooter is walking out at the exact same time. The deadly killing spree orchestrated by Jared Loughner on January 8, 2011 in Tucson, Arizona unfolded in a matter of seconds, leaving a community in shock and grief. Loughner, armed with a pistol and a 33-round magazine, targeted a crowd gathered for the Congress on Your Corner event outside a Safeway store, resulting in 6 fatalities and 13 injuries, including Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. In a horrifying display of violence, Loughner charged through the line, firing his weapon. Giffords was shot directly in the head, and Gabe Zimmerman, one of her aides, lost his life while attempting to assist her. The chaotic scene prompted panic among the witnesses, with people running for cover and seeking refuge inside the Safeway store. The victims included Ron Barber, the district director, and Judge John Roll. Judge Roll displayed bravery by intervening and taking a fatal gunshot wound while shielding Barber from further harm. Another bystander, Bill Badger, intervened and managed to subdue Loughner during a struggle, preventing him from reloading his weapon. Law enforcement swiftly responded to the scene, handcuffing and taking Loughner into custody. The news of the identity of the shooter spread, leaving the community grappling with the aftermath of the tragedy. The burning question persisted: what compelled this Tucson resident to carry out such a devastating and senseless act of violence? The search for answers would delve into Loughner's troubled background, mental health issues, and the events leading up to the deadly rampage. After Jared Lee Loughner's deadly killing spree in Tucson, Arizona, he was taken into custody, and people began to assess the aftermath of the tragedy. Loughner was in the back of a police car, and individuals at the scene focused on rendering aid to the victims. Despite the horrific nature of the event, there was a remarkable absence of mass chaos, and people came together to help one another. Survivors and witnesses shared their experiences, recounting the terror they faced during the shooting. Several individuals, including Bill Badger, exhibited bravery and quick thinking in subduing Loughner and preventing further harm. Among the victims were a 9-year-old child who tragically died on the way to the hospital, including Dorothy Morris, Judge John Roll, Phyllis Schneck, Doreen Studdard, and Gabe Zimmerman. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was critically wounded with a serious gunshot wound to the head. Jared Loughner faced multiple charges and, if found guilty, could have faced the death penalty. However, his behavior deteriorated during court proceedings, and he was deemed unfit to stand trial. Ultimately, Loughner pleaded guilty to 19 of the 49 original charges, admitting guilt to attempted assassination of a congresswoman, the murder of 2 federal employees, causing the death of 4 others, attempted murder of 2 federal employees, and injuring 10 others through the use of a pistol. In exchange for his guilty plea, Loughner avoided the death penalty and was sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms plus 140 years. The shooting spree had a profound impact on the Tucson community, sparking debates on mental health and gun control laws in the United States. The incident highlighted the challenges of identifying individuals with mental health issues before they exhibit violent behavior, emphasizing the need for support and intervention for those who may be at risk. As we conclude the haunting chronicle of Jared Lee Loughner's descent into darkness, we are left with a lingering question that transcends his individual story. What complex amalgamation of factors propels individuals towards such chilling acts of violence, reshaping not only their destinies, but also the lives of countless others? In a world scarred by numerous shooting sprees, the enigma persists, inviting us to explore the intricate web of mental health, societal influences, and the pressing debate on gun control. Speaking of harrowing tales, check out our previous chilling tale unfolds the saga of Jennifer Pan, a seemingly innocent daughter who masterminded a meticulously staged crime. What made her fabricate her own parents' demise? Find out on Crime Scene Archives, where we hold the keys to these enigmatic stories that unravel the complexities of the human psyche and societal shadows. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for a riveting journey through the annals of true crime, where every story is a dark puzzle waiting to be unraveled.